Welcome to Frontiers in Bioscience podcast series, where we discuss our past cosmic and biological evolution and our path to own biological and cosmic fate. I am your host, Dr. Sai.
I'm happy you're back because I really truly love all of you. I'm alive today because of you and for you. And I hope that you stick with me because the story that I'm about to tell you hopefully will give you a new perspective on life. You understand where the heartbeat of humanity might be, and that you will see the world in a different lens. So to start, I like to re-emphasize that everything I'm about to say is a sort of a chronological order. From the start of my life when I was a child, as I went through and matured, the reason for my philosophy in life and where I am today, and the reason why I thought that I should deliver these podcasts merely because of the persuasion of people around me that are looking at me, and I think they are truly representing part of angelic world. I have to take you through my journey in life because the questions that has been posed to me or by my teachers, I think answering them are significant to all of us. I went to a school, and for the first time one day, when I was only 7 years old, my teacher spoke a word or sentences that I barely understood. He said there is a God and there is a soul. As a child, I was lost. I had no understanding of such things as God or soul. What are these? What do they mean? What do they represent? For the first time, it was looking like I am alive in this world that is truly bizarre. Of course, I didn't know why I'm here, but he's offering at least some kind of hypothesis under which I could be guided through the rest of my life. It just happened that night, my classmate, which was his son, invited me to his home. And I remember that night, even the room, and the moment I asked him this question, I had no knowledge of computer. There was no information technology of today. However, I asked him this simple question. I said, please tell me, if someday human beings will create a machine that can laugh, can talk, can squeak, can sing a song, and can cry and tell me jokes, does he have a soul? He paused for a moment, but he responded what astonished me to this day. He said, my son, don't speak about these things. This is in the realm of God. This question of what God and soul is has entertained my mind for over 6 decades. What is the nature of God? What is the nature of soul? What's the source of this hidden language that we have to understand? But of course, to some extent, as a child, I did not understand or had the ability or the knowledge to even start the questions for these important questions that I had in my mind. There were other dilemmas that I was posed when he said, God created man in his own image. I looked around. I saw killing, raping, lying, cheating. I asked, How could it be that God creates a man in his own image with so many flaws and faults? Then came the other question. He said that God has delivered his message in 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not name me in vain, thou shalt not rape or steal or lie. I didn't understand. How could you produce a faulty image and then instruct it not to do any of these things that are hidden in every human being? And it requires control. It requires purity to reach there. I failed to understand that. And then I saw what is unimaginable to me. I saw my grandfather that I met every year got Parkinson's disease. He got paralyzed. He was bedridden. And ultimately, in 2 years, he could not speak. And he died. And he left me with a trauma that I still endure to this day. My grandmother that I cherished and loved and took care of him for 2 years, she got diabetes, hypertension, and she died too. I came to a realization as a child that my parents will also grow old and that they will feel and see these diseases that ails us when we age. I could not endure such a pain. As a child, I decided that I will dedicate my entire life to understand this sickness, this cause of death that is going to happen to every single one of us. I became a physician for that reason. I became a scientist for that reason. And unfortunately, at those days that I came out of medical school and I went to residency, there was no one interested in this question, whether we can stop this horrible, horrible destiny of mankind. But it was always on my mind. I didn't stop. I started to do research to understand what ticks our cells, what makes them function, and what is causing them to be ruined, despite the fact that every time that we are born, we are given this Bible, the DNA, in a pristine condition that goes through life and then it gets corroded. But what's the cause of all this? I was fortunate that I was introduced in 1995 to internet to create the Frontiers in Bioscience as a non-profit organization with the ultimate mission that I will salvage human beings from this enduring pain that all of us have to see and perceive and feel. Unfortunately, as we get older, we see our loved ones die one after the other. We cannot let this happen. We cannot watch and witness this pain and suffering. I was fortunate that so many men and women around the world took my hand. They understood me. They helped me. They created Frontiers in Bioscience Journal to be accepted entity throughout the world. Scientists across the globe contributed to my vision of creating the largest encyclopedia of medicine that is peer-reviewed, which is the golden standard, our publication process, even before Wikipedia existed. I love all of them. You can see the name of all of these people who contributed. over 1,000 managing editors and 13,000 authors in the past 20 years have helped me to sculpt this beauty that the mankind deserves to have. And then the funds that came from Hopkins and San Diego University and so many other places around the world provided the fund that I ventured and dared in 2010 to come to California and create the unique research institute that its mission going to be to understand aging and prevent that process. I'm truly blessed that I have spent my past decade of life in understanding the cause of aging. And I need to dedicate an entire hour or perhaps more to tell you why we age and why the so-called self-centric ideas of hypothesis of aging cannot ever allow us to reach to our goal of reversing aging. I have a different idea that is based on a foundation that lies and resides above these self-centric ideas, the ecocentric model of aging, which for the first time has provided me with a unique opportunity to overcome the aging that occurs in cell culture. Now I have the hope and the aspiration to hopefully to be able to offer even not prolonging aging, prolonging life, but also reverse aging. And I want you to be patient enough to go through my series of monologues that will continue, that has to be given to you as a cohesive story of my life, my understanding of physics, materialistic world, the reason why we age, and what is our destiny and goal in life. That we put our hands together to come together in solidarity to help those who can sculpt a better future for all of us. Thank you.